In this lesson, we're gonna start modeling a pen in Maya. So first I'm going to File and then New Scene and Don't Save. And I'm going to close the render view. So now I'm going to bring the reference of the pen and I'm going to set that aside there and I'm going to split the view. So now here I have the reference. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by creating a cylinder and I'm going to rotate that 90 degree on X and I'm going to the inputs and I'm going to change the radius a little bit, scale it down, and I'm going to change the height, something like that, and I'm going to add subdivisions, a little bit of subdivisions there. And I think the resolution is too much there. You can leave it as that, but I'm going to decrease the resolution a little bit more there. Something like that is better. So now let's start by selecting this part and I'm going to right click and choose face and I'm going to select this part and I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard and deselect these faces. So now I have this gap selected and I'm going to extrude that by going to Edit Mesh and then Extrude, and I'm going to move it to front a little bit, something like that, and I'm going to scale it down. Now I need to separate this piece, as you see. So I'm going to Edit Mesh and then Extract. Let's see, where is the extract? This is the extract button. So what this does, this will separate them. As you see, I have now two pieces there. And I'm going to do it again there. And let's extrude that. And move it. And scale it down. Let's select the scale and scale it down and move it to the left a little bit. And now I need to select this part and I'm going to extract that again. Extract. And now we have these pieces. So now if you hit 3 on the keyboard, let's select everything there and hit 3 on the keyboard. As you see, we don't see that sharp line between them. So I need to select this part and I'm going to select the edge and extrude the edge. So I can do that by selecting the isolate. So now I can see just this selected piece. And I'm going to right click and choose edge and double click on that, and now I need to extrude the edge. So now if I go to Edit Mesh and extrude, and I'm going to hold Control and the offset, sorry, the local translate, to extrude them down. Or you can just select the scale tool to extrude it down. So now if I click on isolate and now if I hit number 3, as you see, we have this nice smooth edge there. And I'm going to extrude this part too. So I'm going to double click on that and again Edit Mesh and extrude. And I'm going to local translate that down like that. So let's hit 4 on the keyboard to see what's going on. And I think this is good. So now if I hit 6 and let's hit 3, as you see, we have nice line between them. But as you see, we lost a lot of the edge volume there. So we need to add a loop there. So I'm going to Mesh Tools and insert edge loop. I'm going to insert edge loop there. and 1 there. So now if I hit 3 on the keyboard, I have nice, sharp, smooth edge, and I can do that for this part too. So instead of going to mesh display, and I'm going to hold the shift on the keyboard and right mouse button, and I can select the insert edge loop from here too. So let's add, and let's see it. As you see, we have nice line there, and we are going to do that for this part too. So let's select the edges there and extrude them. I can hold shift again and right mouse button, and I can choose extrude edge, and I can change the local Z. Let's hit 4 on the keyboard to see that. By the way, if you hold Control and Shift together on the keyboard and drag on the Translate Z, as you see, I am moving the values very slowly. This is good for small areas. So let's see there, and let's add an edge loop, Shift, right mouse button, and edge loop there too. And we are going to do it for this part too. So I'm going to isolate that, double click on the edge to select the loop, shift and extrude edge, and you can click on Z or you can control it from here too. And I'm going to add a edge loop there to maintain the edge sharpness. And you see we have nice shape there. So let's go to the back and let's select that, and I'm going to create this part, this gap, blue gap there. So I'm going first to select this face there, and I'm going to hold Control to deselect these faces. So now I can select just these faces. So now I'm going to edit mesh and extract, and now I have this piece. As you see, the pivot is not at the center. So you can go to modify and center the pivot to here. So now I'm going to extrude that to add a thickness to it, or we can start doing it in another way. For example, I need to select the faces, and I'm going to hold shift and extrude, and I'm going to add a thickness like that there. Let's isolate that to see just that. So now I need to create a loop here. So if you hold shift and insert the edge loop, as you see, I cannot create that. So we need to do it in another way. We need to select the face there. So let's select everything there, and I'm going to hold Control to deselect these faces, and now I can extrude that. So now I can select the offset to add an edge loop. So after adding this edge loop, so now you can insert the edge loop there, and now it works. So now I can just select this part, deselect that, and I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard and deselect these faces there, because I want to extrude just the inner part. So now we can extrude that and move it like there. And now we need to add some edge there to maintain the shape. And we can add another one there too. Let's isolate that, and we can add the edge extrusion there too. Extrude and move that local down, and add another edge loop there. So we have nice edges there. So now let's create the inner part there. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to isolate that, and I'm going to select this loop there, and I'm going to scale it a little bit down. And now I need to extrude that to create this part. So I can do that, extrude, and now let's move it. By the way, if you click on this blue icon, and this is going to make the manipulator in the world space, as you see. So this is just a switch for you. So now we can double click on that, we can scale it like that, and move it more there. And now again, I'm going to extrude that and make it like that. And now let's click on isolate and hit 4 on the keyboard. And I want to create the ink container. So I'm going to extrude this edge, extrude, and I think this is too big, so I'm going before I extrude that, I'm going to scale down that, something like that. And now I'm going to extrude that. Let's click on the blue icon to make the manipulator the world space, and I'm going to move it to the back. So now we need to separate that, the ink container. Let's isolate that just to see that. So as you see, it's one piece, so we need to separate that. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to extract that. So now I have one piece. So now let's create the ink, the black ink inside that, or the blue ink. So I'm going to duplicate that by hitting Ctrl and D on the keyboard. And I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. So now it's inside that. And now I'm going to push it to the front. Okay. And I'm going to select the vertices there, and I'm going to move it there. So let's click on isolate. As you see, we have it. But now if I select everything and let's hit 3 on the keyboard and see what's going on. And I am happy with the result. So let's hit 6 on the keyboard. So now your homework is to create this pen. See you.